Hi guys, and welcome to another Gas City Gaming Warhammer 40k 8th edition preview video. In this video we'll be taking a look at a little bit of fluff, as well as some new reserve rules that GW revealed just this morning. So the first little bit was what was talked about yesterday, just a little bit about the Indominus Crusade. Now, like we all expected, it's Robert Gillman taking a bunch of his Primaris Marines, some of their own entire new chapters, as well as some reinforcements from other chapters as well. The other chapters from existing ones are led by the Imperial Fists. They've always kind of been the, seems like anyway, they've always kind of been the right hand in the newer Imperium. So just a little bit of fluff directly from the article that they spoiled. The big thing is that with the what do they call it here? The Maledictum that split the galaxy in half, the big warp rift that has rent the galaxy in twain, split it in two. It's really hard to communicate to that other side of the rift. It's essentially like a big blackout. You know, it's once in a while a messenger two will sneak through, but it's almost impossible to, and almost impossible to travel through it as well. So we'll get just right to the fluff here from them. There, the light of the Astronomicon is obscured behind a psychic maelstrom of nightmares, and the entire region has been dubbed Imperium Nihilus, or the Dark Imperium. Now, you know when they're giving something a name like this, it's probably going to be something major. So, there's a few worlds, we'll get into it in a second, that are caught on the other side, the non-Terran side of the Warp Rift. So, are those worlds all going to become corrupt or become extinct? One of those two things, basically. It's like a join us or die kind of situation going on for those other worlds. What's going to happen? I think because they've given it, you know, this name Imperium Nihilus, or the Dark Imperium, they really have, that's going to be a lot of story-driven stuff is going to be, you know, Gillman trying to get to the other side, trying to save those worlds, because amongst the besieged Imperial worlds in this Dark Imperium are many Space Marine chapter planets, including Baal, home of the Blood Angels. Things are already looking pretty grim for the Sons of Sanguinius, with a high fleet closing in on them, and now it looks even bleaker. Cut off from the light of Terra, the Angels and their successors stand unbowed against the might of High Fleet Leviathan, hoping they can withstand the storm. But, so, Blood Angels players, a little nervous for you. I've yet to see how this is going to go. So, like, I don't play Blood Angels, but I've always been a fan. I've always liked them, like their fluff, like their story, like their units. It has been a little bit unfortunate how they've been cut off from some of the better rules and stuff, because I do think they are one of the stronger chapters. So, just that's my opinion anyway. But I've always liked Blood Angels, and I'm kind of upset to see them hopefully not killed off, but to see them really be threatened like this. They've been the whipping boy, it seems like, just so many times. Like, Blood Angels are dying. Blood Angels are dying. Blood Angels are not. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, we're good. And then again, Blood Angels are going to die. No, they're just going to survive. I know if you've read some of the fluff, some of the novels, they've been really close to dying a number of times. It seems like they're up on the chopping block again. Will they live? You know? But I certainly hope they do. I've been a fan of theirs. Again, I don't play them, but it's one of the cooler chapters. They have a flaw. Something's always more interesting when it's flawed, like the Black Rage or the Red Thirst. Some things are always more interesting when they're flawed like that. For more interesting characters, more interesting chapter. Are they traitors? I know it's been a big conversation. Anyways, what do you guys think will happen with the Dark Imperium, with the Imperium Nihilus? Where do you think they're going to take that storyline? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. But we'll get a little bit further on to, if you've read ahead, the new reserve rules that we have. The new rule being Tactical Reserves. So, Tactical Reserves is going to be a rule for match play going forward, so a more competitive style of play. So previously, you know, you could set up units where everything was in Deep Strike Reserve, or, you know, you had a drop pod assault army where you started a couple of, like, I don't know, Thunderfire cannons on the battlefield, and then just drop pods everywhere. Now with the new Tactical Reserve rules, we'll just read it here first of all. Instead of being set up on the battlefield during deployment, many units have the ability to be set up on teleportariums, in high orbit, in reserve, etc., in order to arrive on the battlefield mid-game as reinforcements. When setting up your army during deployment for a matched-play game, at least half the total number of units in your army must be set up on the battlefield. even if every unit in your army has an ability that would allow them to be set up elsewhere. Furthermore, in match play games, any unit that has not arrived on the battlefield by the end of the 3rd battle round counts as having been destroyed. Battle round is game turn. So I like this. This seems pretty like a good solution in my mind. There's, no more just, okay, because maybe once you heard a story about getting a guy getting a free win because the guy failed all his reserve rolls and killed the 2 things the other guy brought on the battlefield. But in most cases, a drop pod army would just come in, or a full reserve army would just come in and wipe face a lot of the time. Now, if you're wondering, okay, if I bring 9 units, what do I get? Do I have to bring 4 on, or do I have to bring 5 on? You have to bring 5 on, because you have to hit that half threshold. You can't hit that half threshold with 4 out of 9 units, so you have to bring your 5th on as well. So just a little note there for you guys to keep track of. Now, you may be wondering, what about, outflanking, deep strike? Units will have their own special rules, which we'll see in a second here. There are no more universal special rules like deep strike or outflank that a unit, okay, this unit has deep strike. No, they'll all have their own special abilities and rules. Again, what I hope this leads to, like you guys have heard me talk about if you've seen the other videos, is the unit cards. If you've played Age of Sigmar at all, you know that you can just bring, you don't even have to bring the rule books. You can just bring this unit card, and on this card are all the rules for that unit and how to play it, its stat line, its special rules, everything is explained right on this card. So I can, bring 5 of these cards, and that's it, and play a game of Age of Sigmar and hopefully 40k 8th edition. It's just everything saves so much time that way, so much, flipping through books, flipping through rules. So hopefully they do something similar to this, because they're going this more, everything being on the card, or at least, sorry, and no universal special rules route, or very, very few anyway. So what we'll get to is our new deep strike special rules for our Trigons. So Tyranid players, listen up. So Trigons have the Subterranean Assault special rule. So during deployment, you can set up a Trigon underground instead of placing it on the battlefield. Underground, essentially, it's going to be off the table in reserve. At the same time, you can set up a, brackets, Hive Fleet Troops unit in the Trigon's tunnel. So any troop that can be part of a Hive Fleet. So if for some reason you're allying with, like, corrupt Imperial Guard, they can't be a part of this. They can't come through the tunnel. Troops unit in the Trigon's tunnel. It has to be a troops, can't be an elite or anything else. At the end of any of your movement phases, at the end, set up the Trigon anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. If there is another unit in the Trigon's tunnel, set it up at the same time wholly within 3 inches of the Trigon and more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. Any models that you cannot place this way are destroyed. So, your Trigon comes up, you have 3-inch bubble around it, so if you have some, impassable terrain right next to it, and you have a blob of 20, Termagons or Hormagons, to make that bubble around it, if you can't fit them all within 3 inches of that Trigon, whatever's left over dies. Makes sense. Or if, you set them up in such a way, your Trigon pops up in the middle of a bunch of enemies, and you set those Termagons or Hormagons up around it in such a way that they can't, some of them are going to be within 9 inches of enemy units, those ones die as well. But what's really interesting about this, for deep striking players, for summoning players, for Tyranid players like this, using Trigon for example, GW went on to say there is, quote, nothing stopping them from charging this turn either. So what I take that to mean, nothing. It doesn't mention in the Subterranean Assault special rule that they can't assault, but what I take that to mean is some, I don't want to say all at this point, because there may be special rules that say, oh, when you do this, they can't assault this turn. When you do that, they can't assault this turn. But there are going to be some units that can deep strike, well, what we used to call deep strike, that can arrive from reserves and then assault the turn they arrive. That's really good. Because if I can have no unit, and then suddenly a unit there, shoot with it, and then assault with it, and that unit has not been able to be a target up until your next turn, so I get first strike with this unit, essentially. That seems really, really good. I think it's too early to say that all deep striking units will be able to do that. I don't want to get that far into it yet, don't want to say that, but definitely there will be some. If you watched the Demons video, they mentioned how Nurglings will be able to really get in people's way when they are summoned. So maybe that's what they meant. Maybe the Nurglings will be able to assault the turn they come on as well. We didn't get any special rules for them, but they kind of really hinted at it. And here, with Subterranean Assault, and with GW saying again, quote, nothing stopping them from charging this turn either. Seems pretty good. Granted, you have to make a 9-inch charge. Okay. But with special rules giving dice rerolls, command abilities, or stratagems, giving dice rerolls, not to mention the dozens and dozens of special rules we don't know yet, giving probably rerolls or assault rerolls, who knows. 9-inch charge might not be as difficult to make as it was before. Keeping in mind, me being 9 inches away, I only have to get within an inch of you. So, yeah, okay, I have to be 9 inches away. Oh, well, that's probably 10 inches. No, that's 9 inches. Because remember, I just have to get within an inch of your model, right? So a 9-inch charge, if I'm 9.5 inches away, because I have to be set up 9 inches away, like the special rule says, so that lets it be a 9-inch charge. It's not a 10-inch charge. So 9 inches is significantly statistically better, you know, because you can have your 6 and 3s, your 4s and 5s. So it gives you 2 matches on each die. Won't get into math theory, but anyway, yeah, this seems really good, really strong, being able to assault the turn you arrive from Deep Strike, like it always has been. Like we've always thought it would be really powerful, and it is, I think. So, again, going forward, I don't know if everything can, but definitely stuff will be able to, which seems really good. So that's all I got for you today, guys. If you liked the video, please like it, click the little thumbs up button, share, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on this as well. I try and get back in the comments as much as I can. Really busy right now, but try and get back in the comments as much as I can to talk with you guys about the new rules, about 40k, where it's going. If you want to get a little brush up on your lore before 8th edition comes out, don't forget to check out our lore series that has been started as well. First few videos on that are going to be about the prehistory of the 40k universe. But if you want to see a different theme going on for the videos after that series, please go to the lore video and comment on there what you want the next lore videos to be about. And I will try my best to talk about what you guys want me to talk about. Last but certainly not least, if you want to get a free Warhammer 40k 8th edition core rulebook, all you have to do to be entered in my giveaway is subscribe. Make sure your subscriptions are set to being public so that I can see them, and comment on this or any other Warhammer 8th edition video, and you'll be entered in that draw whenever it does come out. Rumors about it being kind of first half of June. But again, rumors, I don't want to be about rumors, I want to be about stuff that's coming out for sure. So again, like, share, comment, subscribe, enter in the contest by commenting on a video and being a subscriber. We got over 100 of you so far. Thank you guys so much for that. And that's our video for today, guys. Thanks again for joining me. Thanks for spending your time with me. Have an awesome rest of your day. And remember, the Emperor protects.